What's up, everybody? This video is awesome because what we're talking about is one of the most powerful automations you can set up, and I'm going to show you how you can set it up in less than 10 minutes. So what we're talking about today is we're talking about how to set up so that you can automatically call your leads less than 2 minutes after the lead comes in. And so today for this walkthrough, we're going to be using SolarBOOM. So for those of you that don't know, SolarBOOM is my version of the app Go High Level. Go High Level is probably the best software I've ever used, and I've used hundreds, if not thousands. And with SolarBOOM, we're able to set it up so that I can give you a lot more value that's solar specific. So if you're a solar pro, I greatly appreciate if you would consider clicking the link down below, signing up for a 14-day free trial, testing out SolarBOOM and seeing if it might be able to help you to master your follow-up process and to close more deals. So once again, solarboom.io, 14-day free trial. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through how exactly to set up an automatic phone call so that you're getting on the phone with your leads 2 minutes or less after they come in. All right, are you guys ready? We're gonna do this awesome automation. Like I said, it's probably my favorite. It's probably one of the easiest, and it's probably the most valuable for any solar pro that's calling their leads, specifically if they're online leads. And so I'm gonna do this as quickly as possible. I've recorded this video like 4 or 5 times and I keep messing up. So I'm ready to get this done with. Let's get to it. Let's get into how we set up this automation using SolarBOOM. It's really, really easy. So just follow me step by step, okay? So first, what we're gonna do is we're setting up an automatic phone call. So what an automatic phone call is your phone is going to ring. You're going to have a little voice on the other side of the line that can tell you, is going to give you a message. And the message is probably going to be like, hey, we have a new lead for you. This is their name. Press any button to connect. When you press that button, their phone is going to start to ring. And the reason that this is so powerful is because we can set it up to happen immediately after the lead comes in so that you can try to get them on the phone as quickly as possible. You don't have to refresh the spreadsheet. You don't have to like block out 1 hour a day where you're calling people that maybe came in 24, 23 hours ago. It's going to happen instantly so that when you're driving your car, you can see that you have a call, you answer, press a button, and you're talking to the lead. Okay, so one of the best automations for any solar pro who's calling leads. Okay, so let's get to it. Marketing, campaigns. We're going to go ahead and we're going to create new because we're doing this entire thing from scratch. Okay, one little disclaimer is in order for this setup to work, you have to already have Twilio set up. And in addition, you would want to have your lead source connected to the CRM. So assuming that's all done already, this should be a super easy setup. So we're going to call this campaign immediate automatic phone call. Okay. And from that, I can't type. We're just gonna press save. Okay, and for the immediate phone call, all we have to do is we have to add one single step, okay? And we're gonna select call. So you see call right here, and you see manual call. So manual call will actually add people to your power dialer, which is awesome as well, but that's a whole nother video. So for an automatic phone call where we get a ring, there's a robot, we press a button, and then the lead's phone starts to ring, we wanna press that call button right there, okay? Whisper message. So this is where we customize what that message says when we answer the phone. So what I would say is you have a new lead named, and then in the top right up here, we can actually go to the tags and customize basically so that's going to pull their name automatically. And another thing, for example, and they live in zip code, and then we can once again auto populate the zip code. Okay, live in zip code. And then the last thing is we always want to just remind ourselves in case there's people that are new to the system, we want to say press any button to connect. Okay, you press the button, their phone starts to ring. There's no guarantee they answer, but I guarantee you because you're calling so quickly, it's going to increase your answer rates tremendously. And then also, once you get on the phone with them, much less likely that they're going to be able to say, oh, I didn't do that, or oh, I don't think that was me, or I wouldn't do that. All those responses that you get that are kind of their defense reactions, you're not going to get those because you can get them on the phone and say, hey, you just filled it out like 2 minutes ago. And that's going to hopefully improve your chances. Call timeout. How long do you want it to ring before just automatically hanging up? I typically, if I am going to do something like this, I do like 20, 25 seconds. Disable voicemail connect. So the software does pick up voicemails most of the time. And what happens if you get a voicemail, it'll just automatically hang up the phone. If you want to leave a voicemail, you would want to turn this on. Okay. Custom time. Very important, probably one of the most important is with this, we're talking about automatic phone calls. Phone calls should be taking place during a specific time, right? So let's just say 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., whatever works for you, you would want to set that up. Okay. And now up here, we have the options. We have if, when, and exact. So exact would be if we wanted a call to happen at a very specific time. We don't want that. If would be basically if the lead comes in during this time frame, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., the call would happen. If it doesn't, the call wouldn't happen. Okay. And what we actually want in this scenario would be when. And so what this means is that right here it says if it is in the current time, it's going to execute. If not, it's going to wait until the next window to execute the action. So if a lead comes in 11 o'clock at night, they're added to this campaign. You're going to get an automatic phone call for that lead at 8 a.m. the next morning or whatever the time is that you set up right here. Okay. So once again, whisper message, timeout. You can disable the voicemail detect if you want. We want to set up the condition as when, so that no matter what, every lead that gets sent to this campaign should have an automatic phone call attempt. Press save. Just like that, we're going to go ahead and press active, or we're going to publish it. So campaign configuration, you can assign it to a specific person. You can give them a tag, add lead values, all that stuff, but none of it's really necessary for this campaign. So we'll just leave it there. Okay. Now that we have the campaign actually created, like that's it. Like that's the automatic phone call. We have to tell the software when do we want people to be added to that campaign. And that's where we're going to create a trigger. So this whole process is one campaign, one trigger, and we're done. So we're almost done already. We're going to go to triggers. And we're going to create new, add trigger, and we're going to say automatic phone call. And I'll just say immediate automatic phone call. So that in case we have other phone calls, it won't confuse it, but whatever. Okay, great. So let's go over here to the right-hand side first, and we're going to say action. So we're going to start with the action. What do we want to happen? Okay, we want them to be added to the campaign that we just created, which is immediate automatic phone call. Okay, so adding them to the campaign. So what do we want to trigger that? And so this is going to depend on where your leads are coming from. So you could also trigger based on tags. You could trigger based on if we add notes, if they move to a certain stage in the pipeline. You can trigger it however you want. But for this example, we're talking about when leads are coming in fresh. So there's a few different options, right? Facebook. So if you're using Facebook lead forms, we actually have a very great integration that integrates with Facebook directly. Okay, and that would be you connect your account, you map the form fields, and then you're able to select this right here and say, when a Facebook lead form is submitted, I want this immediate automatic phone call. Okay. The next option would be if you're creating your surveys and or forms within SolarBOOM, you would be able to do basically a very similar thing where we say SolarBOOM, we say form is submitted, and then we could even filter, say, when it's a specific form. So when that form is submitted, we want them added to the automatic phone call. This last option is probably the most complicated, but it's really not that complicated. It would be using whatever you currently use, which is JotForm, Survey Gizmo, there's so many now. Wherever you currently use and you want to keep that going, you just have to set up a Zapier Zap to get that information and plug it into SolarBOOM, and then from Zapier you would be able to add them to this campaign. Okay, so all in all, it's pretty simple. We could do Facebook lead form submitted. We could press save, make this activate, and assuming that we have those integrations set up like I told you with the Facebook page and you have a Twilio number, these would happen automatically. It would be awesome, and they would start immediately. Last thing I want to show you guys is with this, we can also filter. And so what I mean by that is a lot of people that are even experienced with this software don't necessarily know how to use this properly. So what we can do is we can add a filter. And so say if we're asking them on the form, wherever it is, are you a homeowner? Yes or no? And we can map that specifically to the custom field, do you own your home? We can set it up to say, okay, do you own your home? I want it to contain the phrase yes. So that way, if someone says, no, I don't own my home, and they still somehow finalized the form or submitted it, they wouldn't be added to this campaign. Okay, that is one of the coolest things. It saves you a lot of time, saves you a lot. You can filter based on their electric score or their electric bill. You can filter based on specific zip codes. I mean, it gets a little more complicated with some of those, but the main one is obviously like, do you own your home? Yes or no? If they say no, they wouldn't be added to the campaign, or you can add them to a different campaign. And so super helpful right there. Just like that, we have an automatic phone call set up so that when a lead comes in, your phone's going to ring within 2 minutes. You press a button, their phone is ringing within 2 minutes, and you are hopefully going to be able to get them to answer the phone with this simple automatic phone call transfer. Thank you so much. I hope you guys have an awesome day.